So 5, 7, 9 is a Pythagorean triple if, one, these can be sides of a right triangle, and two, if it fits in the Pythagorean theorem. So is it even possible to have a 5, 7, 9 right triangle? You could use a ruler to figure that out, but we're going to do it algebraically. 9 is the largest side, so that's going to go on one side of the formula. The famous relationship between three sides of a right triangle, known well before Pythagoras, by the Chinese at least. So we can make A 5, we can make B 7, and we want to know, does that equal 9 squared? 5 squared is 25, 7 squared is 49. Does that add up to 81? Doesn't look like it, because 2 and 4 is 6, and it could be 7. So it's going to be 74. That does not equal 81. Therefore, no. 5, 7, 9 is not a Pythagorean triple. Any questions on 4? Yes, Amber.
What's the rule that, like, isn't there something that says, like, two numbers, like, if they add up, it should be, like, less than a number, like, another number? There's, like, some rule.
Yeah,
Rule that's like
thank you
that.
for asking. So there's something that some people call the triangle inequality theorem, which states that the two smaller legs of a triangle must add up to be greater than the longest side.
So A plus B must be greater than C?
A plus B must be greater than C. I'm glad that you brought that up.
Okay.
That's something that we'll use later on when we talk about triangles. Remember, this is trigonometry, study of triangles. Any questions on 4? Also, as you go through your high school career, notice how things build upon each other. For example, in math, you need to know algebra first before you can do trigonometry. You'll see later why. You need to know geometry first before you can do trigonometry. Any other questions? Okay, number 5. There's times when we want to know the distance between 2 points. Like if we have 2 cities on a map and we put a grid on top and we want to figure out how far 2 places are apart. That's the distance formula. And there's times when we want to know where's the center between 2 points. In other words, where's the midpoint? So we have this very simple formula, the midpoint formula. All you're doing is finding the median or the average of the x-coordinate and of the y-coordinate. Okay, so you sum up the x's, divide by 2, sum up the y's, divide by 2. It's very simple. So instead of plotting these points on a coordinate plane and trying to figure out by looking where the midpoint is, we have this beautiful thing that we can use to get to the answer, the exact answer. So add up the x's, 1 plus 7, divide by 2. Add up the y's, 3 plus 5, divide by 2. So you get 8 over 2, which is 4. And you get 8 over 2 as well, which is still 4. Pretty easy, right? Any questions on 5a? Okay. Now let's check to see if you can get it. U and J, could you tell me how to find the midpoint between 4, -3, and -1, 2? Could you tell me how to find the midpoint between 4, -3 and -1, 2? Okay. Dominique, could you tell me how to find the midpoint? Mm-hmm. Negative 3 plus 2 over 2. And say that again. Negative 1 over 2. Good. So the point that is smack in the middle of 4, negative 3, and negative 1, comma 2, we know with certainty is 1.5, comma negative 1/2. And if you have the time, verify that. So we can plot those 2 points. One other thing I like about math is that in general, we never just believe things are true. Like, we have the ability to verify them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, comma 2. We are asserting that 1.5, comma negative 1/2 is the midpoint. And let me change that, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's better. One and a half is here. Negative 1/2 is here. Okay. Does this look like the midpoint?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.